9, 10, 10, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pollard, ufaka nama headset njengoba ngiyafakile nje, ufake headset, ufake i-receiver phezulu. Njengoba ngibe ngifakile, le ndoda ikhiphe ama headset lapha phezulu angabonanga ukuthi kuna extra headset. Ishapa lithi. Hayithi naki voice yaka ki voice. But ishap, but nelisebenza kwa i-test kaufela. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. T, 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Check 1, 2. T, 1, 2. Yeah, T, 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Pollard, Wang tall. Okay, sharp. Hey, Eric, country. T, yeah, 1, 2. Okay, sharp.
Sanibonani mphakathi. Ninjani? Siyaphila. Nginesicelo man ukuthi abahleli ngemuva basondele ngaphambili so that we can fill the front seats and maybe focus on only these 2 rows. Kule row lengala abantu abafikayo abalate bazohlala kuyo. Ngiyacela nje bazali bami. Ningasondela nje nisondela abasemuva basondele occupy lama seats lawa phambili. Ngiyabonga. Okay, sibonge kakhulu. Mina igama lami ngumuyiponi wakamhlongo, ngusihlalo wekomiti le-education, sivela e-Gauteng Provincial Legislature. Siyabonga ukuthi namhlanje nibe lana. Kukhona abantu abahleli ngalemuva, baphethe ama-microphone afana nalawo. Uma ngabe uzoba nenkinga sizokwenza ama-presentations ethu nge-English. Uma ngabe uzoba ne-problem mhlawumbe udinga i-interpretation, sineSizulu, sine-English, sine-Afrikaans, sineSesotho, neSvenda noma isiTsonga. Ngicela umuntu ozodinga i-microphone ezo-interpreter nge-language azokhona ukuyi-understand, bengicela ukuthi aphakamise isandla so that bazonibona ngalemuva banilethele ama-microphone nizokhona ukuthola ama-channel la nizokhona ukulalela khona kahle sizokhona ukuthi sizwisisane sonke la emhlanganweni. Ngicela izandla zenu zime njalo baze bafike labantu abasemuva bazonikeza lawo earphones. And then ama-channel enizowakhetha la kuma-earphone enu. Ofuna isilungu uzokhetha u-channel 1. Ofuna i-Afrikaans uzokhetha u-channel 2. Odinga iSotho noma iSpedi noma iSetswana uzofaka ku-channel 3. Odinga isiZulu, isiXhosa noma isiNdebele uzofaka ku-channel 4. Odinga isiTsonga noma isiVenda uzofaka ku-channel 5. Uma ngabe nidinga ukuthi banincedise futhi ukuthi nifake kule channel enidinga ukuthi ningene kuyo, umuntu oletha ama-earphone ningamazisa ukuthi angeke nikhona ukupressa banisize ukuthi nipress. Okay. Myself as umuyiponi wakamhlongo owusihlalo we-Education Portfolio Committee, I hereby declare Chief Albert Luthuli Primary School as and its surrounding premises as a precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature in terms of Rule 56 of the Standing Rules of the Gauteng Legislature, read together with Section 1 and 2 and Section 28 of the Powers, Privileges and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislature Act Number 4. The precincts of Parliament or provincial legislatures are prescribed as follows. The precinct of Parliament is the area of land and every building or part of a building under the Parliament's control. This is including the chambers in which the proceedings of the House are conducted and the galleries and lobbies of the chambers, every part of the buildings in which the chambers are situated, and every forecourt, yard, garden, enclosure, or open space thereto. The committee rooms and other meeting places provided or used primarily for the Parliament's purposes, and every other building or part of the building provided or used in connection with the proceedings of Parliament. For the duration of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, this place will be the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. Thus, the standing rules of the legislature will apply and govern all engagements of the day. Ngiyabonga. Lokho kusho ukuthi lewo leli namhlanje silithatha njengokuthi liyi precinct ye legislature okuhambelana nemigomo nemibandela yase legislature. So I want to now declare this meeting officially open and welcome all of you enkwazile ukuthi nifike namhlanje nizo engage nathi siyikomiti le portfolio education njengoba i-Department ye Basic Education izonithulela the annual report for the 2023-2024 financial year. Okuyi-report okubalulekile ukuthi niyazi nokuthi nizwisise ngoba iyan-affecta nani as different stakeholders in the education sector. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we meet here today amidst the biggest challenge that we have of food poisoning affecting our learners. This is a pandemic to us as a country. The Portfolio Committee would have issued a statement on its concern about the rise of the food poisoning cases that are happening. And today, as we engage with you, we are urging you as parents of our learners, as teachers, as people who are in the districts, as the principals, ukuthi sisebenzisaneni sonke just to be able to fight this scourge of food poisoning. Our learners are the future of this country, and esifisa ukuthi sibambisaneni nani ukuze sikwazi ukuthi siyilwe lempi. Now, with that being said, sinesicelo bazali bethu ukuthi ingane emazi esikoleni ningasazinikeza imali. Okungcono ukuthi niziphakele ukudla ekhaya ukuze zikhona ukuthi zingahambi zithenga endleleni endaweni la singazi khona ukuthi zithenga kuphi, zithenga kobani, ukudla kwakhona kuregulate ubani noma kwenziwa kanjani. Ngoba la eSouth Africa sekuthengiswa ukudla okuyi-fake kakhulu, and that is a problem for us. So siyanicela bazali ukuthi ni monitor abantwana benu even at schools. You members of the SGB and the teachers as well as our principals, we understand that we are in the process of exams, and we request you to also monitor the situation from your side. Furthermore, we have made a request to the Department of Education ukuthi sinesicelo ukuthi ezikoleni abamise kancane ngokuvumela abantu abangena phakathi esikoleni bazothengisa, because asikho sure ukuthi lokudla lokho abakuthengisayo abakuthengi kule ipaza shop lezi ezithengisa lokudla lokhu oku-affecta ingane zethu. Siyazi ukuthi i-economy yase South Africa ayikho kahle and nabo bomama bazizamela impilo. Kepha sinombono ukuthi as long as singazi ukuthi lokudla kubuya kuphi noma ekuthengiswa izitolo zabantu bangaphandle, asikwazi ukuthi kuregulatiwe noma kwenzakalani ngakho, which is a problem for us. So with that being said, also we have matriculants who are writing their exams right now, and we have other learners who are starting as well to write their exams. We wish the class of 2024 well, and we are hopeful ukuthi bazosenza sibe proud, because we have not had any cases of any wrongdoing from them or from their side in terms as far as the examinations are concerned. With that being said, I am going to urge everyone ukuthi silandelele imigomo yase legislature. Nginesicelo ukuthi abantu mabekhuluma singahawulani. Asisebenziseni ulwimi olunenhlonipho okwazi ukuthi uma ngi-address omunye umuntu kumele ngim-addresse njengomuntu ngendlela enenhlonipho, so that sikwazi ukuthi umsebenzi wethu namhlanje uqhube kahle. Ngokusho kanjalo, I welcome all of you to this precinct and thank you for making time to join us. In terms of the apologies, Mr. Kekana, do we have any apologies? Okay. I know that. Okay, please come in.
Good afternoon, Chair. Good afternoon to honorable members. Good afternoon to MEC, and good afternoon to stakeholders. Chair, I have not received any apology. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. We'll now move to the confirmation of the agenda. Our agenda namhlanje ime kanje bazali. It's opening and welcome, as well as the declaration of the precinct and the introductions. Let me start there with my introductions ngoba sengenza iphutha ngangayenza ama introductions. Ngishilo mina ukuthi ngumuyiponi wakamhlongo owusihlalo wekomiti le-education. Ngizoqala lana ngaku MEC so that he can introduce himself.
Ngiyabonga Chair, lona uMatume Chilwane, MEC responsible for ezemfundo, umphathiswa ngesiZulu. Ngibe kahle, umphathiswa wezemfundo zala eGauteng province. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, thank you, MEC. Please proceed on my right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sergio Dos Santos, member of this committee.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bronwyn Engelbrecht.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Waters.
Good afternoon. My name is Franz Ngubeni.
Sanibonani, igama lami nguLindiwe, imember yale committee.
Good afternoon. Lina laka ke Rufus Mutlana, ke head of department ya the Department of Education in Gauteng.
Thank you very much for those introductions. Sihamba neteam yethu futhi esupportayo nababona to ask everyone who has introduced as well as the interpreters there at the back. So with that being said, we welcome in the department. I may not call you all of you out by your names, but you are all welcome. Okukhulu futhi ukuthi si appreciate ngenina mphakathi wethu ukuthi nikwazile ukuthi nize emhlanganweni wethu namhlanje. Njengoba bengizama ukusho ukuthi i-agenda yethu namhlanje is opening and welcome, the declaration of the precinct, and as well as introductions. We will then be followed by apologies, the confirmation of the agenda, the purpose of the session, as well as the receiving the presentation by the Gauteng Department of Education. We will then move to questions and discussions, which is where you come in, and then we'll do the vote of thanks and have a way forward as well as closure. With this being said, honorable members, may I have someone to please adopt the agenda?
Thanks, Chair. I move to adopt the agenda.
Okay, thank you very much. Bazali bami isicela ningathi siyantelela ngokukhuluma sihleli ne. It's just so that we are able to be audible kula mic lawa esikhuluma kuwo, because the session that we have is being recorded and it's also being streamed live on all of our social media platforms for the benefit of those who have not been able to join us physically but have joined us online. Ngokusho kanjalo ke the reason why sizelana namhlanje sizokhulumisana nani is because on an annual basis the Department of Education must come out to the education stakeholders to present the annual report of everything that they have done within the department. When there are achievements ekumele ukuthi banikeze zona noma mhlawumbe ama-targets that are given to them on an annual basis. They must report back to you as the community, as stakeholders in the education sector, on what they have been able to achieve, what they have not achieved, and the reasons thereof. So this meeting, the purpose of it mainly is to give you that report. Now, Tina, as the oversight committee, angithi niyazi ukuthi u-MEC uwu-principal ku-HOD. U-HOD bese yena bewu-principal wabo-DDGs. And then iya ngokwehla iziyofika kuma-district, iyofika lezansi ey'koleni zethu kubo-principal. So njengoba u-MEC awu-principal wabo bonke, thina njengabantu enisikethile siwu-principal wakhe, ukuthi umsebenzi wethu ukwenza sure ukuthi the department delivers on the promises that they have committed themselves to ekumele ukuthi bazenze. Ours is to ensure that kuhamba kahle konke ngemigomo nemibandela ekumele ukuthi kuhambe ngayo. So that is the work of the oversight committee. Nizosibona kwezinye ikhathi sivela ey'koleni zenu sithi we are doing an unannounced visit, noma mhlawumbe even if we announce our visits. But our role is basically to ensure that everything that is said to be done has to be done the way that they are saying must be done, within the rules and the regulations as well as the laws of South Africa, especially here in the Gauteng province. So with that being said, we are also going to receive the presentation from the department on the annual report. Beseke nasivumela nina njengomphakathi ukuthi nisinikeze uvo lwenu noma mhlawumbe nibuze i-department lapho ningazwisisi khona ukuthi lana nalana department simisa kanjani. Bese u-MEC ne-team yakhe bazokhona ukuthi baniphendule kuleyo mibuzo leyo eniba nayo. Now, thus the Education Portfolio Committee is entrusted with dealing with izinto ezifana nama-provincial bills. Kuba khona kwesinye isikhathi ukuthi umthetho ushaywa ku-National Parliament, kukhona eminye imithetho ebekelwa thina njenge-legislature ukuthi siyenze leyo mithetho leyo. Futhi uma siqeda ukuthola ama reports ethu from the Department of Education, mele siphinde sibuyele futhi legislature siyothula i-report yethu phambi kwe-legislature yonke isiphelele. So just in short, those are the things that we do as the portfolio committee for education without waste isikhathi ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi kunabanye benu abafikela early kakhulu by 2 o'clock besenhleli la. Ngizodlulisela kwi-department ukuthi isenzele i-presentation yayo. Now nizobona la kulama screens lawa akhona bazali bami ukuthi niyakhona ukuthi nibone le presentation bazoyiveza lapha uma beyipresent. And then uma baqeda ngiyacela ukuthi ninote phansi imibuzo mhlawumbe ninayo ukuthi uma beqeda nizokwazi ukuthi nibuze imibuzo and then bakhona ukuthi baniphendule. Thank you very much. I'm going to give it over to you, MEC.
Ngiyabonga sihlalo. Ngaphandle ukuthi sithatha isikhathi eside abazali ngathi sikhashanyana bamile. Ngizonikeza u-HOD ubaba uRufus Mutlana uzopresenta le annual report prepared for nina like the stakeholders in particular. So let me just, without wasting any more time, and hand over to the HOD to do the presentation. Angakibe inde kakhulu bazali, angakibe inde kakhulu, to be just highlighter emisebenzi yethu for the last year, the financial year, including our targets, commitments, financial management, and also the set of questions that the portfolio committee is buzzing out. So you we cover. So it's going to be quite comprehensive. Maranga be in the Rakul. HOD?
Kialewa mukhuji tamaha wa tuto mo province ya Gauteng. Chairperson le nna ke a leboga fano mo boemong ba department ya rona ya Gauteng gore ke mefano ke presente annual report ya lefapha leno go tloga ka April 2023 go fitla ka 31 March 2024. Ke rata go bua yana modulasetilo le mokhudithamaga le all members honorable gore this particular year ya 1 April 2023-2024 was a very exciting year for the department, given the fact that we worked under the leadership of Ntate Kopano Matomechilwane, Rele Lefapha, ke mafano ke le a spokesperson or mouthpiece ya the team ya Gauteng Department of Education who did the work during this particular year. Ke rata gape go bua yana ke re chairperson Untitled just to outline the size and shape of this particular department gore di stakeholders tsotlhe tse leng teng fano ka jeno dumelang sanbonani department ya lona ya Gauteng ya education mo Gauteng ke one of the biggest department in the province because in the last financial year budget ya rona ne le 63 billion ere sebiseng go direla di programs tsa thuto mo province ya rona. Apart from that, during this year ne re na le bana ba 2.7 million bana ba rena ba le mo dikolong tsa rona tsa mo Gauteng. He re lebella di total number of schools ya rona mo Gauteng di feta 3,000. Ho lebella ba bereki ba shumi mo province ya rona ba berekelang Department of Gauteng Education ke 106,000. Le ka bona hore department go tota Ntate Matomechilwane ntsa tswere ka natla a etetse pele sentse se khatlisa thata gore mo ngwageng o wa 2023-2024 ne re motswere le nosi re mo dirisa a le nosi re le nosi fela mo ngwageng o na la itse gore o na le another department ya Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation. My presentation bagolo e na le dintlha di le tlhano fela tse re tlo di tshwarang e le dintlha kgolo tsa ditiro tse re di rileng mo go fetileng. Ya ntlha e tlo nna go bontsha the context ba re sebaka se re di rileng mo sona. Ya bobedi tlo lebella dintlha tse re di fitlheletseng or di fentseng mo nakong ya ngwaga 2023-24. Ya boraro e tlo nna ditiro tsa rona gore re dirile yang mo ngwageng ono o fetileng. And then ya bone e tlo nna gore mo masheleng mo ditšheleteng re dirisitse ditšhelete tsa setšhaba yang gore re fe thuto mo bane ba rona ba Gauteng. And ko bofelong re tlo emela di-questions tsa lona from the floor re kgone go araba di-questions tse tla ba le na le tsona. Ke solofela gore le tla nne ntse le dingwala fatshe he ntse ke presenta fano. Ya ntlha re rata gore re le bontshe toro ya rona or maikalelo a rona re le Gauteng Department of Education. Sa ntlha re rata go gatelela gore rena re le mo Gauteng bana ba rona tshwantse ba ikutlwe ba tlhomphiwa ba fiwa di-service tse maleba. Mo mission wa rona e leng maikalelo a rona re gatelela taba gore dikolo tsa rona tshwantse nne dikolo tse ditšha tse le bana gore di tla kgona go fa bana ba rona thuto ya quality gore re kgone gore di-rights tsa bona gore ditokelo tsa bona di tlhomphiwe he ntse ba gola. Mo slide seno ke le bontsha gore ko bofelong ka mo letsogong la moja right hand side re lebeletse Gauteng Strategic Plan or APP ya 2023-2024 eo e gatellang gore that annual plan a ya ema le nosi. Re tsere annual plan ya rona ra e kopanya gore e arabe dipotso tse di butswang ke province under the program e re bitsang Growing Gauteng Together 2020-30. And then ha ra lebella Gauteng fela re lebetse le national la itse go national ho na le di-policy le ditogamano tse le bana gore di fa guidance mo di-provinceng gore di re yang. Rona ka mo Gauteng re bua ka gore re godisa Gauteng rotlhe ka jalo di-outcomes tsa rona tsotlhe tse di informa ke the provincial mandates, national mandates and other mandates which are important for the education sector. Mo slide tse pedi tse ilatelang re rata go le lebosa gore maikelo a rena a strategic plan outcomes ke eng and then tse re di beileng ko dimo ke eng mo ngwageng wa 2020-2025. Sa ntlha re rata go bua gore outcome 1 re gatelela gore bana ba fetse grade R gore ba kgone go itukisetsa go tsena sekolong ko grade 1. Matsia re batla bana ba rena ba simolole grade R pele and then ba tswele pele ba grade 1. Gona yaanong ka the inheritance ya ECD from social development, we're even going to grade RR or pre-grade R ho lokisa bana ba rena gore ba tsene dikolong sentle. He level outcome 2 3 4 5 and 6 e bua ka boleng ba thuto mo baneng ba rena mo di classroom tsotlhe le dikolong tsotlhe tsa rona. And mono re gatelela taba ya gape di tlase ko tlase kwa tse re di bitsang GET grades from grade 1 to grade 9 ra gatelela fela re gatelela gape gore le rena re le Gauteng re batla re nne ko dimo re bontshe province ding gore re kgona go dira. Hence re bua gore re batla go claima crown ya rona as number 1 province mo FET results. Ra also gape go bontsha gape gore ha ra lebella bana ba rona mo sebakeng sa jaanong fela re lebeletse gape gore mo isagong ba nne ba tie ba kgone go compete le any other learner from any part of the world. Therefore ba fa dithuto tse di tsamaisanang le 4th industrial revolution tsa technology le tsa e-learning gore le bona ba kgone go tobetsa he bana ba tobetsa ba tswa China or ba tswa Europe. Boya bo supa re lebetse dikolo tsa rona gore di sireletsege re dila ka ntho e re bitsang social cohesion, patriotism le non-violence. Mo re dira yang re dira jana gore re kgone go tsentsha bana ba rona mo di-tournamenteng tsa di metshameko re kgone ba bontsha gore di drugs ha se tsona isago ba itekanele ba kgone go bona gore rona re le puso ya Gauteng ra ba direla. Tsa bofelo ke outcome 8 and 9 ke buang ka the infrastructure le di programs tse re di bitsang di twinning or a reorganization of schools. Mo re bua ka go supporta bana ba rona mo dikolong tse di rileng, go supporta ma-teacher a rona mo dikolong tse rileng, go improve dikolo tsa rona gore se ya ratafala re di tsosolose as part of infrastructure, but gape re kgone go aga dikolo tse dintšha. A ke ra itse gore bana ba rona ba gateletswe ba kena dikolong tse le bana gore di congested, re batla gore re increase dikolo mo Gauteng re kgone go amogela bana ba rona botlhe. Outcome 9 ke e re bitsang ke a batšha e re dealang ka youth employability, e re dealang ka yona le Gauteng City Regional Academy mo le bana re fa bana ba rona di-bursary le menyetla ya go ithutela di-program tse di maleba go ya isa gong. Tse latelang ke tlo tsamaya ka pelenyana mo tsona e leng di-achievements tsa rona. Ke tlo simolola ka program 1. Program 1 ke administration. Administration ke office ya MEC le office ya ka le HR le strategic planning. Nka confirma mona modulasetulo gore we have complied with all administration matters in terms of planning, online admissions, media statements, response to all the questions from all the stakeholders, but also our collection of data or dipalo-palo tse re dilang ka tsona mo dikolong tsa rona. Ya bobedi ke program 2. Program 2 ke yona program e kgolo mo department ya rona gonne ke yona e fang thuto go bana ba rona go simolola ka pre-grade R, grade R right up to grade 12. Therefore, here bua ka gore where does the bulk of the money and energy is spent mo lefapeng la rona, re spenda mo program 2. That's why mo program 2 re bua ka general education and training, which is grade 1 and 9, which is compulsory. Re bua ka di science training, re bua ka African languages le literacy and numeracy. In the next slide, re bontsha gape gore he re bua ka numeracy and literacy, re bua gape le ka go traina ma-teacher gore ba tlhatlhelele ba tie ba kgone go ruta bana ba rona thuto e lolameng se ra ba tloelela fela ka ntle le gona re kgone go supporta bana ba rona ka oral reading fluency e le bana ke yona province e fela e dirang this particular program mo le bana re testa bana ba rona gore ba kgone go bala with understanding rather than ba bale fela o kare ba opela. Mo programe ya bobedi gape re rata go bua gape gore re emphasize go ruta bana ba grade 8 and 9 including ma-teacher a bona gore ba kgone go move from primary school to high school ba na le thuto e maleba e ba e tsereng ko primary school. E sa re ba fitla ko secondary school ra kry-a gona le gaps tse ntsi ra tshwanela gore ma-teacher a rona ba tshwanetse ba dire tiro e ntsi thata ya go tsaya bana go ba mo leveleng ya high school. He re lebelela slices latelang re bua ka dilo tse di lebeletseng technology, tse di lebeletseng economic development, and in Gauteng we are having what we call schools of specialization. Dikolo tsa rona tse le bana gore di specialize ka di professions tse itseng across the province in line with the region e re le mo yona, and jaaka re bua yana re na le 35 schools of specialization mo provinceng ya rona. Again, mo this slide re bua gape ka go gatelela metshameko le dikopelo tsa bana ba rona sa nna fela ba balang dibuka e nne le bana ba kgonang go tshameka metshameko le go opela dipina le go compete nationally and internationally mo ditirong tsa rona mo dikolong tsa rona. Ya bofelo re gatelela gore mo ngwageng ona re kgonne gape go fa bana ba rona dijo e re bitsang through the program e re bitsang National School Nutrition Program le Learner Transport Program. Re na re lefapha la thuto re na le program tse pedi re bontsha gore ha re batle bana ba rona ba tsamaye more than 5 kilos ba ya sekolong ba boe gape more than 5 kilos ba ya sekolong, re ba fa transport ba tsamaye. He ba tsena sekolong gape re dira gore se ba nna ka mo tlase ba tshwere ke tlala o utlwisisa yang o tshwere ke tlala ka mo tlaseng. Therefore, re dira hore bana bao ba le mo quintile 1 and to 3, le ba bang ba le mo quintile 4 and 5, re kgone ho ba fa dijo, ba bale mpa tsa bona di siame. And ke rata hore ke bue jana ke re, we covered 1,400 no-fee schools mo di programs tseno, and ke rata hape ke re all together more than 1.7 million learners in quintile 1 to 5 reaped benefits of nutrition in this particular province. Mo program 3 re bua ka program e dealang ka di support to special school education. Ra itse gore a re lekane semeno ka jalo go na le bana ba ba sa tshwaneng le bana ba bang re na le dikolo tsa bona and le bona re ba fa support gore le bona ba file jaaka batho jaaka bana ba leng mo dikolong tse ding re traina ma teacher a bona, but apart from traina ba teacher a bona le bona ra ba assessa and assessments re dira le dikolong tse ding gore khona o bona ngwana gore ngwana a tswana o tsena go normal school o batla special school, and then re mo identify na go sentse le teng a khono ya go dikolong tse re na le tsona mo Gauteng re khono o ba supporta yalo le yalo. And ra bontsha mo slide seno le se se latelang gore a re ba latlhile go sekolong seo ra ba supporta le gore ba khono fitla grade 12 ba passe sentle jaaka bana ba bang le tšhelete tsa teng re na le dedicated program which is program 4 for bana ba rona ba leng mo special schools. That is program 4. He kitsa go program 5 re na le dedicated program ya early childhood development ba ke bana ba leng before grade 1. Re na le section e le bona re make sure bana ba ra ba hlokomela re lokala tšhelete mo teng re traina ma teacher a bona re na le practitioners more than 4,000 great art practitioners ba ba hlokomela bana mano. And then since it's our program from the Department of Social Development, we have made significant strides to ensure that this particular program is supportiwa both in terms of ho supply ma teacher ho dira hore di centers tsa bona di ne compliant le ho dira hape hore re ba fe maintenance grant ke tšhelete le re fang di centers tse di complying gore ba kgone ho tsosolosa di centers tsa bona ba kgone hore bana ba nne mo di centers tse di siameng. And then ke rata hore in the last bullet here hore more than 60,000 children benefited from equitable share ya ECD, whereas those who benefited from ECD grant exceeded 51,000 learners. Mo program 6 re bua ka infrastructure, dikago tsa rona, di buildings tsa rona, dikolo tse re di agang le di mobile study provider mo dikolong. O tla lebella gore mo ngwageng ona we produced di plans tsa rona tse le bana re batla gore dikolo tsa rona di nne le prototype gore ke plan e tshwanang e compliant gore bana ba rona ba khona ho tsena mo dikolong tse siameng. Like for instance ke nkantsha A1 here ha primary school yano re make sure that primary school ina le section ya grade R gore bana bao ba khona nna le class tsa bona tsa grade R le 12 tsa bona ne tse nyanyana ba nne le mo ba tshameka mo teng se ra lokela ka mo classeng tse le bana hore ha di maleba for bana ba rona ba grade R ka jalo re nse prototype eo e le bana hore re make sure hore dikolo tsa rona di compliant. Ke rata gape go bua jana gore mo ngwageng ono re lekile gape go tsosolosa dikolo tse ntsinyana tsa mo Gauteng, and just to cite an example Kgato Entle Secondary School re sfeditse last year sa dira re sfeditse ka January. Brandfisher Primary and Maibuye School also reached almost 99%, and we know hore Maibuye le yona e kgonne ho bula mo ngwageng ono. Mo ngwageng ona re provide le mobile classrooms ko dikolong tse di nang le pressure ya tsa bana kry anong o kry lwana le na le batswadi o batla ngwana wa tsena mo sekolong se setseng sekolo se sena capacity, so increase the capacity re tlise mobile classes. And then again re dirile gore re kgone gore di special schools tsa rona le tsona re di upgrade se ra di lebala. An example e re nang le yona mo ke ya Dr. WK Duplessis se le bana ke special schools re se beile under construction gore se kgona go nna maleba mo baneng ba rena mo ngwageng o fetileng. The last program ke e dirang gona yaanong ge re bua jaana re mo exam periodong akere exam period e bana ba rena ba ngwalang exam ka yona go tloa grade R to grade 12 ka itse thata re focus mo grade 12 thata re run through this particular budget and this particular program e le bana re make sure gore the examinations tsa rona di tsamaisiwa ka molao and di dira gore se ra nna le mathata mo go direng question paper go supervisa bana he ba ngwala le go maka question paper tsa rona le go ntsha di-results le tla bona gore mo bullet 2 mola the class of 2023 last year Gauteng pass rate was 84.3% or 85.3% as compared to earlier ngwahola ya 84.3%. And then bachelor pass rona di increased ka 0.8% to 44.29%. Ya bontsha gore tswetse pele re increase our pass rate and re increase hape le our bachelor's pass go bontsha gore dira sentle mo Gauteng. Se ke itseng gore a sa tshwara MEC monate ke taba gore le ntse re improve le yana he go ntshiwa list ele di-results tsa matric rona Gauteng re tswile re le number 3 re le wa boraro fela re tshepa gore mo ngwageng ono re tla leka go boela go number 2 and number 1 re dire yalo and se seng gape se re batlang gore bolela sona ka kgang ya matric ke gore di-districts tsa rona tsotlhe all 15 districts mo Gauteng re kgonne go feta 80%. And then here's a number 1 district mo country yotlhe ya rona Gauteng ke yona e tshwereng ko pele ka Johannesburg West e tsereng position 1 e betha di-province tsotlhe tse Tshwane South e kirile position 3 mo di-province tsotlhe tsa country not only tsa Gauteng and then Gauteng North e kirile position 5 and Johannesburg North e kirile position 10. Therefore ho ka lebella o tla bona hore our 5 districts di kirile in the top 10 of national results sa NSC National Senior Certificate. This particular program hape e tsentsa tsele tse ke buileng ka tsona ge simolla tsa batjha tsa di-bursary le tsona re tsentsa ka mona le tsona tsa di-conditional grants le tsona you are under this particular program. That is our programs as outlined. I just want quickly ke le bontshe our performance ya the previous financial year hore di le yang ke tlo tsamaya ka yona ka pelenyana le kgone go bona gore madi a setšhaba because re berekisa madi a setšhaba re yana re le department a dirileng mo ngwageng fetileng la gopola re buile ka di-commitments tsa rona re na le tsona tse 59 and if o lebelela ka mo right ka mo go na le pienyana ka mo pie eo ba na e tletse bo-green bo-green ba bongwe tse ba re ke 94.3% and go na le bo-rednyana mo bo re 5.6%. Bo-green bo bontsha all the programs and achievements re dirileng ka ngwaga wa 2023-2024 o bontsha gore ke le 94.3%. And if re ka etsa e le matric results ko re ke le distinction ke tse tharonyana fela tse di re paletseng ke tla tsena mo tsona tse le bano ke 5.6%. Mara bontsi more than 94% re achievile. So re achievile tse out of 53 re achievile tse 50 tse 3 ke tsona di re paletseng tse thataro 6 ne is under scope in this particular year. More di break down gape 53 re break down hape mo mara a re lebelleng tse tharo tse ke buileng ka tsona gore a ra kgona go di fitlhelela re itlhalose because he re bua le setšhaba tshwanetse re bue nnete re bue le mo e le bane gore a ra fitlhelela maikalo a rona gore ke target tse feng which are not achieved. The first one e re sa achievang ke percentage of learners with access to required maths and e-file textbooks tsa grade 6 and 9. Re bua ka textbook mo kere target a rona ne re itse go fitlhelela 70% ya textbook mo bane ba grade 6 and 9 mo maths le e-file ma re fitlheletse 61%, which is constitute 88%. Mara re bua yalo, re rata ho bua hore 61% e re fitlheletseng e, re fitlheletse because of the way the testing ne diriwa ka teng or monitoring ne diriwa ka teng. Ntate China o tla o tlhalosetsa hore ba bua he ba testa textbook or bana ba na le textbook, re tsena sekolong re sa le bolella re tlo checka hore re bontshe textbook ya maths re bontshe textbook ya English. Ho palla go dintsha go ra ona dibuka. Mara bana ba rona ba bang rena re le batswadi re ba tloela dibuka ko gae. Therefore re ba ngwala mo report ya rona hore a ba tla le dibuka. Therefore in terms of our test nearly 61%. Mara ke bona bothata bo le one ba hore bana ba tloele dibuka ko gae. Bothata ba bobedi ke gore bana ba rona he ngwaga o fela a ba buse dibuka tsa last year. Tsentse ba iberekisa ngwago. Molao wa skolo or tablet, textbook or anything selling sa skolo he ngwaga o fela o fetsa ngwala exam o di busetsa ko skolong a ba di busi. And because a ba di busi mo ngwaga o latelang a ra itsentsha mo budgeteng gore di reke. Ka jalo e leader to di shortage tse re na le tsone. Ya bobedi e re sa dirang sentle mo yona ke percentage of learners who passed NSC certificate examination. Rona re lefapha ne re lebetse gore re tlo kry 87.2% ya matric pass. Re kile 85.3. Even though re increased ka 1%, mara a ra re fitlhella 87% ntse re lebeletse. Se se golo se se itumeisang gore a ra wela fatshe. Sentse re ya udimo le ntse re tsamaya hanyane fela udimo raya. Morawa re se ya phambili ngithi. Ya boraro e le bona a ra e fitlhella ke grade 12 learners achieving 60% or more in physical science. Physical science le maths di botlhokwa thata ke re la itse gore ke tsona di bulelang bana menyako ya o dira science ko University of Technology. Target ya rona mo ne ritse re nahanne gore re ka kry 21.50%. Mara re lekile ra fitla 98.9% ka o kry 21.28% e le ya 21.50%. Re emisitse just ka 0.1%. Ke yona eo ke tsona tse tharo tseo tse le bona gore es lefapha ke tsona tse re bona gore ke tsona re sa di achieve ka mokgontse re lebeletse. Ke rata ho tloela tse tsa dithuto ke tsene ko tsa masheleng tsa itšhelete. Tsa itšhelete ke rata hore this department ka audit outcome ke re ngwaga le ngwaga Auditor General of South Africa di departments tsotlhe ya di auditor ngwaga le ngwaga e bone gore re sitse tšhelete ya lona ka ho ya ka plan e re beileng e approved ke legislature na. And he ba checka gore tšhelete re dirise yang re rekile dilo tsa maleba and everything. Ba itse he ba re lebale ba re checka ba fitlhela le bona gore di financial statements tsa rona di statements tsa rona tsa tšhelete di unqualified. He le unqualified ke gore o monwana o dirile sentle thata tšhelete yotlhe ya setšhaba you can account for it. Ya bobedi ba kry e le bane gore apart from ditšhelete ho na le performance tse ke bua ka yona ile ya bana gore ba pasitse re agile dikolo re rekile dibuka etc. Ba kry le yona gore le mo re kry unqualified audit gore we are clean ba bitsa clean wa bona ka mo bracket ba ngotse clean gore clean re performile ho ya ka melawana ya Auditor General mo ditšheleteng le mo di programs tsa rona gore di performile bjang. Ya boraro tse ba di lebella ba lebella these three areas. Ya boraro ba lebella hore did the department comply le melawana or di policies tsotlhe tse nang le tsona le tsa national na. And ba kry le bona hore le ona mo re unqualified re clean re ranile department ya rona within the policy framework. A ona selo se re se rile se le kontle molao. Ka jalo he tse tharo tse di le clean di le so Reina department ya Gauteng ya education in Gauteng re kile clean audit. And by clean audit it means hore re perform sentle and maybe on this one le ka itumela thata ho utlwa hore ke rona fela lefapha la thuto mo South Africa re kile clean audit. Moi province tse 9 kaofela. Ha o monate yalo. Ke a leboha. Ena e bontsha gape gore clean audit a ra e phazamela fela ka 2023-2024 le ka 2022-2023 re kile clean audit gape, so ke ngwaga bobedi re kry clean audit. Ntate Matsometšhilwane ke ena ke bona tlileng ka clean audit ntse re palla ka 2021-22-23 ka 2022-23 ha tsena ra kry clean audit le last year as no tsena ra kry clean audit, so re kile clean audit ka 2 years in succession. Ele bona department re sa kgone kreya mara ke bona gore department ntse le ka e aga capacity le bokgoni, and then ka 2022-2023 ra ifitlela re fitletse hape ka 2023. Therefore hele tsamaya mo motseng le ka mela ba bolela gore Gauteng Department of Education ke clean auditor, we can account for everything re se dirileng ka tšhelete ya mmuso, ka tšhelete ya lona, ke tšhelete ya setšhaba e le bana le re file yona gore re kgone go ruta bana ba lona. Financial performance gape ke rata gore tšhelete legislature e approvileng le treasury ba re fileng yona re spendile 99.6%, and 99.6% ya 63 billion. It's a lot of money, and only 99.6% la itse hape after comma, after that decimal o ka nna tsa ela wa ira ka mole gore ke 100%. Kore khonno tsa tšhelete otlhe legislature e passitseng e approvileng national treasury ba e thebutseng ko legislature ra e dirisa ka mokgontse ba batla re dirise ka teng. So a ra busetsa tšhelete ntsi morago re lefapha la thuto re e dirisitse la e bona ke 99.6%. It's so difficult to arrive at 100% per school. Treasury he ba e recorda mo dibukeng tsa bona ba e recorda as 100%. Kore dirile re dirisitse tšhelete yotlhe ka mokgweleng ka teng. And then departmentally nearly slight overspend more some programs ka 0.2%, and then run some underspend 3.1%, and then run also happy underspend more capital assets at 2.2%, which are not a problem. And then tšhelete ngwe ba re fileng yona mmuso wa rena o re fileng yona o re diris ke a patela bašomi ba rena ba bereki, the workers. Tšhelete o ka moka e ba re fileng yona ya patela workers yotlhe re e berekise 100%. So re hirile batho akere re hirile batho re ba patetse ra e berekisa yotlhe tšhelete ya ba gore treasury re ba fa le fela 0 gore a tšhelete re e berekise re hirile batho re feditse ke mo tšhelete mo. Mara hape mo di government department re na le tšhelete tse re bitsang fruitless and wasteful. Re na mo department ya rena mo le bana re na le 63 billion. Re nile le wasteful expenditure ya 4,000 fela. Mara here investigate re fata ra kry ban 2,000 was written off because ne kgone tlhalesiwa ke 2,000 fela e le bana gore we are still investigating it ka wasteful expenditure, mara otherwise everything was spent in a fruitful manner. And then irregular ke 70 million, but we reduced it ka 88% from 2022-2023, and in that particular year there are 575 million. And then we had no unauthorized expenditure as a department. And then lastly, this slide says your accruals. Your accruals are payable. Say once our Renas Department of Education reported the companies that you raised in Tiromong hang over 2023-24. Kanako reported within 30 days. In fact, reported 20 days. Saying reported in 15 days. So how do you on a project tell how the Department of Education we make sure repatela within 30 days. Regirle yalo. Mara hona le tse intse tse re bitsang di accruals. Accruals a sore tšhelete timetse. Accruals ke tšhelete e le wana gore re patetse ka this financial year o re buang ka yona o e le wana gore mara tiro e diretse the previous financial year. And e khosa ke delayed projects or e khosa ke di-projects tse di deliverilweng just before the end of the financial year. Therefore ra forced gore re di patele ka the next financial year, hence the 1 billion ya accruals. He ke tlo feletsa modula stilo le batlhompegi Really department re dirile sentle fela re na le mathatanyana fale le fale. Ene amang la itse le batswadi a re na lona mo dikolong tsa rona. Ya ntlha ke ntlha e kgolo ya overcrowding. La itse dikolo tsa rona di overcrowded. Not tsotlhe dikolo tse di ratiwang tse ile wang di a dira bana ba tsona ba pasa. They are overcrowded because batswadi ho le motswadi o batla a good school, isn't it? Therefore dikolo tse dirang sentle tse di nna overcrowded, and he nna overcrowded bjalo dinomoro tsa bana di ya ko godimo, and then di put up pressure mo ma-teachereng, di put up pressure mo infrastructure, di put up pressure mo di-resourceng tsa sekolo. Ka jalo rena re lefapha la thuto mo Gauteng re bona tota hore re na le mathata, re bone hore re provide this province ka ntho e re bitsang self-built program. Self-built program e dira yang? Re tsere tšhelete mo department ra efa dikolo le AGP le di-principal ra re agang di-classroom tse le di batlang tse more go le kgone increase capacity ya dikolo tsa lona. And re file dikolo tse 300 tšhelete gore ba age di-classroom. And ho ka lebella since re simolola ka program ya rona ya self-built, ho ka lebella classroom tse dikolo di diagileng di dintsi tota. In fact, re calculator planning ya rona ba re bolelela hore they amount to about 40 schools. Apart from that, ke boletse ka wa ga dikolo re butse le di-classroom tse itseng ra kopa dikolo hore ba increase di-classroom mo ntse e le one teacher to 35 learners, ba ipushitse ba etsa 36-37 learners to get more learners. Engwe hape le itseng thata le batswadi challenge ya rona ke admissions online, le bitsa online again, online admissions program le placement. So re bone mo ngwaga o fetileng and ngwaga o re lekile go re improve gore no na le mathata a di-ID registration profiles mo system ya rona, because o na le batswadi ba berekisa internet cafe ba createile mismatch learners le parents e le ba di surname a di tshwane, and nako ngwe kgona nna le ngwana mara surname se e one, so you can prove gore ke ngwana hao tshwantse re mo recognize. And then gape ra bona gore this admission system e batla hape re deal ka issue ya waiting lists. E le bana re lekile go improve this year to re-verify, re-qualify applications, which resulted in delays in admissions. So schools were also requested last year to confirm siblings relationship. But it's only sibling ke one of the criteria it's young ho na le ngwana mo sekolong ho bona hore e ka kgona fa pointing yana hore ngwana wa bobedi a kgona tsena ko sekolong seo. And again the issue ya different names ke boletse le mismatch languages. Therefore ke the two areas tse kgolo tse le bana hore in le mathata mo ngwageng o e re dila le setšhaba ka tsa thuto. Mara la itse the other challenges thing is in mo presentation mo last year ne re na le mathata load shedding. Load shedding ne le mathata mo setšhabeng sa rona. That's why last year re kgonne gore dikolo tse na le matric ba ngwala technology ba ngwala CAT subject ba kgone go reka di-generator, re ba kopile ba kgone go reka di-generator and bontsi ba di rekile. Therefore this year no load shedding, but ra itse dikolo tsa rona secondary schools bontsi ba bona ba rekile generator and we could deliver exams without fail. Ke rata gore ke yona report ya ngwaga 2023-2024 ya Gauteng Department of Education. Chairperson, allow me to table this report on behalf of the department and the operator under Ntate Mokhuduthamaga Matume Chilwa. Ke a leboga.
Okay, ikensile ka morangeri wa department ya education. So swi vatswari va hina hi ta nyikela ka n'wina, hi ta kombela lava nga ni swivutiso va yimisa mavoko, and then hi ta kota ku mi komba swa ku mi ta mahlweni mi ta vutisa ka department ya education. Ta kombela loko mi yimisa mavoko mi ta la mahlweni. Number 1 le ndzhaku kombela mi ta, 2, 3, 4, nkombela mi ta yima la mahlweni. Ni ta vuya haleni ka tlhelo leri. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Ita haleni ka tlhelo leriyani, nkombela mi ta mahlweni na n'wina mi ta joina the line. Nkombela mi endla layini la ndzhaku ka vanhu lava. Swa ku va ta mi tisela mic mi ta kota ku vulavula. Number 1 hala, number 2 haleni ka puti luyana. Nkombela mi yima njalo, tani hala ndzhaku ka vanhu haleni. Yeah, let's join the queue from the back. Okay, I'm going to be strict on time, ne? Munu yu unwe utakuma 2 minutes. Hikombela minga exceed 2 minutes ya n'wina, vanhu va ka hina. Hi khensile. Mga sungula from the first person.
Dumelang. Chairperson, I've heard very clear from the OD mentioning that the department is allocating funds to the schools in terms of building extra classes. But the problem that we are having, I don't know whether is it biasness or whatever. Some of the schools' money that has been allocated is deviated. And when the SGBs question that, the department through the district are showing a funny face to our SGBs. I'm Fraser Komane from the Universal Association of SGBs. We are watching this and it's regretful. It's too much regretful. We appreciate the way our department is doing in terms of smooth run of curriculum in our schools. But the way our districts are taking that department in disrepute is very worrying. We are saying most of the schools are, overcrowded. I can't mention names of the school because I'm not going to mention names of the school, but I'm available. I can tell you aside that there is a school around here in Davidson that the department have allocated to build 10 classes. Some of the officials deviated those funds to Tembisa. We are not going to allow that. We are saying, print those funds, build those classes for our kids. We cannot have a capacity of school of 1.2 learners, and then now we've got 2,500 for the of those classes. But it's not happening. I'm calling upon the Department of Education, our beautiful education department, please make it a point that you do as per the expectation of Section 34 from SASA, that the allocation must be used wisely. Thank you.
Okay, Banta Batala, I am going to request ukuthi umuntu makaqeda ukukhuluma singashayi izandla. Njengoba bengishilo ukuthi i-meeting yanamhlanje ithathwa njenge-meeting ye-provincial legislature yase-Gauteng. Okusho ukuthi umuntu makaqeda ukukhuluma asimhawuli, asibabazi, asishayi izandla, siyayithulela nje. Siyabonga.
Ke le dumedise batswadi ba ka ka lebitso ke Kabelo Motshweni from ko Ward 70 hona mo Ekurhuleni. HOD, we welcome the report. It shows or there's progress. But the first thing that I would want to request from the department and the entire portfolio committee, can we at least try to fast track a program that has been already running, the program of specialization of schools. Let us try to push for reconverting as many schools as possible to be able to have young people that are well prepared, well skilled when they exit from the age of 15 or age of 16. Because from grade 9, we already expect you to be able to go to institutions of higher learning like FET colleges. From grade 12, we expect you to go to university. But the problem is that when we get there, we are competing with young people from other countries. Young people from Nigeria, they come with a matric certificate that has already a programming language, that already has an IT certificate. Those people that you compete with at the institution of higher learning, they are going to better perform than kids from here in South Africa in our motherland. So let's try to push and make sure we have as many denotos as possible. To come back on these issues of expenditures, the department might have a beautiful report, but when the money descends down to schools, we start to have problems where SGBs do funny things that we don't know. Schools are misusing money, and there is no measures put in place to make sure these schools account for this money. I am going to concur with the latter speaker. The classes that was, you just reported it as a self-built program. It has been a request from many learners, from many parents, or schools are congested. Let us build more classes, let us build more schools. But when money is allocated, maybe literally I'm being, I'm not sure about the word. I suspect, or the situation that we have in Davidton is caused by this lot of money that is coming to schools, and people are now putting their hands in the jar. Many people want these millions that are here to build our schools. There is a leader from here, Sismipun, you might be aware. In my ward, he was a contractor to build about 2 schools. I think it was 4 classes that he was supposed to build. He was not able to finish that thing, he was gunned down. He had to sit in hospital for 3 months. When he came back, we said, maybe it's just contractors fighting amongst themselves. But we see the very same situation is now entering into teachers and HODs in schools and principals that are fighting amongst themselves. There is a teacher that was gunned down with 13 bullets from co-unit. There is another teacher that is being gunned down co-Rivoni with 3 bullets or 4 bullets. Why is these things happening now when there's millions that are entering the schools? But when there was just a budget for stationery and some of the things or running operational budget, you did not see these funny things. So I'm saying it is a good program, but let's just try and monitor it. For a process of appointing these contractors, is it free and fair? Are young SMMEs getting opportunities with these budgets that you are allocating in these schools? We have a situation whereby there's other schools that are contracting these things. Stationery, I'm not sure how much it costs, I'm not a businessman. But we are aware of schools and SGBs that are giving business to people who are outside Davidton. They are not even considering young people who are unemployed. They are saying, let's just try this thing of service providing. Maybe Ratlathola Masentenyan and start our own businesses. But when you arrive there, you are going to get a white company that is bringing printers. You are going to get a white company that is bringing stationery. You are going to get a white company that is bringing, what is this thing? Furniture. What are we saying about young people who are here from Davidton, Cloverdale, and the rest of Ekurhuleni, who are growing up in this township? We have a crisis of unemployment. We are saying SMMEs must come. We are going to empower them, and we are going to make sure they create jobs. Mara, they are not going to be able to create jobs if you still continue to allow these SGBs to take business outside of their radius because they want kickbacks of 10%. Thank you.
Just a reminder, abantu abadala ne sicela singadluli lo 2 minutes ne sizon timer, please. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, my name is Daniel Okok. I'm from Tshwane Sub-District 2. I'm not going to be long. Mine is, first of all, I want to greet everyone. Mine is an infrastructure and a vision and mission statement that you spoke about, the HOD. In my area, there's a school that was erected in 2011, Ward 14, Sub-District 2, Tshwane. It was erected in 2011 as a mobile classes. 2011. For 13 consecutive financial years, the Department of Education in Gauteng was unable to fund a budget that was supposed to build that school. The reason that we believe is the reason why is because those mobile classes are rented for. So we believe that as a resident of that region, a resident of that what? We believe that 32,917 residents have been compromised for only one entrepreneur. So we request, we're voting every year. We're voting for being liberated, for not being discriminated against. But you are not going to compromise us for one entrepreneur. We request to fast track the building of that infrastructure. The name of the school is New Year's New School. It's a high school, and our children are being subjected to mobile classes, despite the fact that the mission statement is saying it's advocating for respect to our children. Ours are not respected. We request 13 years, you couldn't find a budget. Can you please this year, in this financial year, find a budget? Number two, we're requesting, this is the most important thing. In 2022, the stakeholders of the area, Region 2 as a whole, Hamaskral to be specific, we came up with a project called AYFS, Adolescent Friendly Services. We know that the government cannot deal with gender-based violence. It's a fact, because you are dealing with it on an after impact. What we're trying to do is, we're trying to get it being dealt with from as low as 10 years old, in educational point of view. So, the Department of Education is not coming to party in terms of this issue, HOD. We request you guys to come to party in terms of, your principal need to attend this program, because it needs to teach our children from as low as 10 years. You can't deal with it in our ages, because it's rebutuiti. The water dealer from Basala Banyan, Varlo Salimeti. Arlo Jen Salimeti. Every time we're another sense of Bible, Lebar is inferior, a man is superior. So, sense of Bible. So, we need to teach this our children. That is not in existence. And then the aim of AYFS in Region 2 is to do that. So, we're requesting the Department of Education, please come in, bring our principals, so as we can deal with this. The third thing, the last one, this one, is the disciplinaries at the school. If you look at the disciplinaries at the school, the quintile level 1 is low, and the quintile level 4 and 5 is high. Why? Because there is a close interaction between the teachers and the parent. With quintile level 1, 2, and 3, there's nothing like that. What you guys are doing as Department of Education, you're calling us to a meeting when you want the approval of a budget. That's all. You are done. And after that, we're going to wait again for next year for the approval of a budget. Against the working SASA, South African School Act, it says you must call us every 3 months. Have an interactions with us. Because Baramana Hurisaki community, as opposed to quintal level 4 and 5. Quintal level 4 and 5, there's a close interaction between the parent and the teachers and the management of the school. But to us, there's nothing like that. We are requesting, with due respect, we are requesting the principal in your schools are ex-officials in the SGB meetings. Their role is to advocate for the policies of the school. Let them advocate for that. Thank you. Eskolo Gamayaso is new school, new yesterday new school. New school. The area's name is New Yesterday. The name of this new school.
Molweni Betuna. Any will be short. I won't be long. I am just concerned about grade R educators. When you advertise grade R educator posts, you require B.Ed in foundation. When those teachers are employed, you are giving them a stipend, which is very unfair. So I'm just want to check, what are your plans about grade R educators? Secondly, I just want to check, you're going to back pay them when absorbed That is all. I thank you.
Thank you, Mama.
Ngiyabingelela igama uJabulani kaMkhonza. Ngibuya eTsakane. Ward 83. Ebengithanda ukuphakamisa mina ngizwile emakhulunywa ngelokhunjana ngebudget. Kodwa kukhona la sisalela khona in terms of transport yabantwana. Lapha eTsakane sinabantwana abasuka eTsakane baye elokhunjana eGelexdal ngeenyawo. Sinabantwana abasuka eLangaville bahamba ngeenyawo baya eTsakane. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi indaba ye-transport siyikhuluma kakhulu nayo bakuMatuma uyazi afika kuye office lakhe angakabi MEC. Sathunyelwa ukuthi masibele ezikolweni sithole lokho njana idatha ukuthi bayingakho abantwana abafanele bathole i-transport. Sikwenzile lokho saya nakuBaba uKhanyile ku district. UBaba uKhanyile wasithembisa kuwumuntu uyosilandela uzoya ezikolweni asiqokelele idatha ukuthi bayingakho abantwana abadinga i-transport. Manje sikakayitholi impendulo. Sine case yakhona eGelexdal webhayela kwabulawa khona umntwana. Indlela icase yabanjwa ngayo ngiyacabanga nayo HOD lapha supportlishwa handlishwa ngathi singabantwana because of ama stakeholders kwakuthiwe icase ngandlela ingakhona sizobriefiwa ngaso sonke isikhathi ukuthi kwenzakalani kuhamba kanjani kodwa kuze kube manje asazi ukuthi kwenzakalani ngoba abantwana bayasho ukuthi umuntu owenza leso senzo usehamba ngaphandle ukhululekile. Kunabantwana babaleka esikolweni because of bullying ukuthi laba bebelwa lempi baze babaleke ngoba nabo bayafunwa bashintsha ama location kodwa i-department nalapho yasifela ngoba uma silungisa lenkinga department nathi ama stakeholder forum bacela ukuthi bakhulume nabantwana bavalele thina abazali ngaphandle kungukuthi abazali yithi esithumela abantwana kulezo izikolo lezo ngenxa ye-overcrowding because of kwesinye isikhathi sinalento le ukuthi uma umzali ufunela umntwana indawo esikolweni esithile ungayitholi indawo ugcina somthatha ummixa kwenye indawo and noma ummixa kwenye indawo i-response ozoyithola ku-department bazokutshela ukuthi kusho ukuthi bowunemali ingakho uthathe lo mntwana wammixa kuleyo ndawo leyo kungukuthi bongenziwa ukuthi unemali kwenziwa ukuthi kudala ifuna indawo umntwana angayitholi. We end up abantwana bethu abanye baba nama-gap year because of bangatholanga indawo. Enye into efanele ukuthi mayilungiswe le ndaba ilokhunjana i-online application iyinkinga kwabantu abaningi because of bayazama ukuchubeka nayo uthi mafanele kuye ekugcineni ikuvezela ama-advert ayisavezi la fanele ukuthi khona uqedelele khona so iba inkinga abantwana bethu bagcina bangakhonanga uku-aplya unyaka ozayo nafanele ukuthi bam-aplayele esikoleni bathi no ngoba wena awuyanga esikolweni last year isikole sikhona ukukwenzela senzela abantwana abazoceda kulo nyaka wena ngabe mhlambe bohleli uba naleyo nkinga ukuthi ufanele uthole indawo so abantwana bethu bagcina bangena kuma-gap year bangazimiselanga so we are appealing kulokhu ku-department ukuthi izinto enizenzayo yenzani nazo ukuthi kunabazali nabantu abangafundanga abangekho technical ngaleyo ndlela leyo. Enye inkinga ebengithanda ukuthi isiphakamise i-curriculum yethu iyinkinga thina sizwe sinsundu or ama-South Africa. Uma ubheka ezinye izizwe more especially kune-video etrendayo abantwana base-China imsebenzi bawuqala imfundo yabo umsebenzi bawuqala iwezandla basesephansi thina sibhizi ngelokhunjana nge-theory and uma somntwana ukuthi fanele kameje khani uqala kufuma uma uqala uqeda i-grade 12 whereby khani wazi ukuthi fanele uye kuphi wenzani so siyafisa ukuthi abantwana bethu ngathi bangaqala phansi nabo umsebenzi wezandla ezisasiwenza thina i-handwork esikolweni. Okunye siyacela ukuthi ezikolweni makube khona ama-social worker. Abantwana bethu kwesinye isikhathi mabagula uthi umzali ungekho esikolweni ufonela ukuthi izolanda umntwana uyagula so angazi fanele kuba le uyekele umsebenzi uyolanda umntwana because of kuthiwa abakhona ukwenza izinye izinto because of bazokusasa kuthiwa babathwesa amacala ukuthi yibo bayenza izinto ezithile kodwa ngiyacabanga ukuthi uma umntwana sesikolweni umzali usemsebenzini uyazitshela ukuthi umntwana la khona usafe yebo ukugula into ezenzakaleyo noma kunini kodwa sikho isizathu ukuthi umntwana fanele uzubizwe usemsebenzini kuthiwa na umntwana uyagula izomlanda kungukuthi siyazi ukuthi abantwana basesikoleni basafe ningandlela ukuthi sinikeza igunya maka umntwana fanele ayisibhedlela or fanele kwenzeni lokho because zikhona izinto ama-concert esiwasanayo kodwa uma ngabe fanele kunikwenze lokho anikwenzi fanele enzeni nibize abazali ukuthi bashiye umsebenzi bazonaka abantwana. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga baba. Ningakhohlwa sishaya izandla abazali.
Dumela. Ki libisa potso ya ka ho Miss Mhlongo. Okay, like ke ne sontso o qetella ho bua ka taba e ya poison ya bana ba sekolo ba bolawang ke matswantle. So re le batswadi re utlwile bohloko. And then ke batla ho tseba hore government e reng ka bana ba mantse ba hlokahala. Whereas ke utlwile o bua o re rona re le batswadi re ska ra fa bana tjhelete. Okay, fine. Sekolo se tla nka responsibility le batswadi, but government ya rona yona e reng? Because bana ba rona ba shwa daily. Then ntho e re utlwisa bohloko rona re le batswadi. So please, MEC, please. Kopa re le batswadi. Taba ya bana ba shwang e re utlwisa bohloko because ho shwa di MEC, ho shwa di president, ho shwa di doctor, ho shwa di nurse. So please, ke kopa taba e le address and le nkele bohato. Pele batswadi, re tswa taolong. Because ho utlwa bohloko daily. Then number 2, ke taba ya online. Taba ya online e re utlwisa bohloko because bana ba rona ba qetella ba sa kene sekolo. Ha o mo ngodisitse sekolong sena, o thola lebitso la hae le hlahile sekolong seo. Se hlahela lebitsong sekolo sa lebitso le hole. So engwe hape e ke kopang hape nna ke tswa ko Vaal. Location la rona ke extension 15. Ha rena sekolo mo. Ke utlwile ntate ke lebetse lebitso la hae. O buile ka taba hore ba aha dikolo ba di eketsa, but location leo ke na le 20 something ke dilo ho lona. Ha ona sekolo. Bana ba kena sekolo mo, ba kena sekolo Beverly. And Beverly High, bana ba tloang ka location la rona maybe ke 60% ya bana ba tloang mo. But ba jumpa skontiri and skontiri sa rona se busy sa Renfontein Road. Bana ba chaiswa. Sometimes ho na di patrol but I say always. So please, ke kopa le rutlele bohloko le haile sekolo. And location la rona ntse le eketseya. So ha rena sekolo mo. And then number 3, ke taba ya uniform ya sekolo. Ke batla ho tseba strategy se nkuang kapa strategy se etsuwang ha o fuwa bana uniform ya sekolo. Because o tlo thola hore ngwana e motswadi wa hae ba sebetsang ba le 2, o thola uniform. But nna ke sa sebetseng, ngwana ka ha thola uniform just because o need. O ya sekola ka policy dieta ali hantle but uniform ha e thole. So ke batla ho tseba ke sefe strategy se sebediswang hore bana ba kgone ho thola uniform haholo bana ba hlokang. Ke a leboha.
Re lebohile mama, ho latelang. Kopa re beng strict ka nako batswadi ne.
Okay, dumelang badula setulo. A ke tlo ba motelle lebitso la ka ke Matshepo le Dikga ke tswa from Ward 96. Le ke tlo ba mkhona ke tlo bua ntho tse ngata because most ya batho ba ne ba le mo ba butsa ntho tse ne ke tlo di butsa. Le nna ke lla ka online registration. Online registration e botlhoko jwang ka gore re le batswadi a re lekane. Go na le ba bang hana phone ya smartphone, hana tšhelete ya go ya internet cafe. And then yena o topile tšhelete ya gore a ye internet cafe ga nyane go lo ngwadisa ngwana mara at the end of the day I expectile gore ngwana o tlo ya ko the nearest school and then ha re wa boela ngwana ba mokile ba misitse kgakala. And then ya boithu ke utlwa le ka e tsamelana le taba e ya online registration. Bana ba gona diskolo tse ding tsena le bana ba ma foreigners. So di class di ba overcrowded ka gore gona le bana ba bang ba thole space ba registreng online mara bana ba matswantle ba khona gore bona ba attende sekolo. So ne ke kopa gore each and everything ina le inspection. Ne ke kopa gore batho ba education ba tsame ba lo inspector ko disekolong gore bana ba kenang sekolo seo ke bana ba straight gore ba ka attenda sekolo gone a never bana ba ko ntle ba be educated bana ba rona ba sa be educated. Ke a leboga.
Thank you.
We would like to greet you all. Standing in front of you is Major Sireleto, standing with Siamthanda Dlamini. We are coming from Bulelo Primary School, situated at Carltonville, Kuzong Extension 2. We would like to ask the few questions following.
Greetings to the house at large. As she introduced myself, I would like to know more about the infrastructure, most especially in rural areas. We would also like to know if will we ever get a better education with sufficient resources in schools from rural areas and township.
We would also like to know what is your plan regarding food poisoning? There are a lot of children dying because of food coming from school, and we're seeing people taking action about that.
Adding to what she has said, we haven't seen more information because the food poisoning is mostly happening at schools, but then there's no help. It is increasing each and every day.
Thank you. Thank you. Siyabonga bazali, thank you, thank you. Thank you. And ladies, girls, thank you so much for your bravery and for coming forward as young women to ask those questions. Well done, you must keep it up. Thank you very much for those questions.
Siyabonga MEC for coming in, Davidton, the chairperson and the portfolio committee at large. But my problem sebayitshila abantwana ne leadership enye. We can't have ama-foreigner tanks ukudla ey'kolweni zethu. That is a problem, big problem. And those teachers and principals who allow those people from outside our country to sell food to our people is not good. Especially by today, SGP and the principal are supposed to be around here to this program to understand that the budget of the schools, of the education are not here. My problem on the MEC is that of the foreigners in our schools selling food to our kids. Can you please just make sure that your principal and SGP must remove those people out of our schools? And by the way, on the Saturday, SGP and the principal are going to Beachwood, but communities doesn't even make sure that they are welcomed in Beachwood. That's the problem with our SGP and the principals. Can you please give us understanding? Because when the issue is pending, community must support SGP and the principals. I thank you for this.
Thank you, Sanbonani. Sawubona MEC nawe sihlalo. Siyabonga ukuthi nisivakashele namhlanje. Igama lami mina nguThepho wakamhoto, right? I just have a few questions considering what the HOD tabled here today. Nayaka, obviously, because we represent mostly the business and young people around our townships. We would like to know, Mama, in terms of your program, program number 9, youth employability. You said you're working with CETA, right? Mama, exactly. That is what we would like to know. We would like to know, Mama, out of the 63.3 billion that you said was allocated, how much of it did go to CETA? How much of it did it go to CETA? And we would like to know, Mama, how do we access CETA? Because we would like, it's a request, we would like to have CETA offices la, Guma regional office, so that it becomes easier for us to access them. Because it's been a challenge, Mama, for us to access CETA and to get the access of these skills development, basically programs from CETA. So we would like them to be here so that it is easier for us from Emalokshini. We would access at least Mabala regional office, because we can go to a regional office and access them. When they are not there, it becomes a challenge, right? And then we would like to know, Mama, do you have maybe a curriculum for people living with special needs? Because the school like Davidson Association for the Physically Disabled, I'm not sure maybe it's not a public school or maybe or what, but I feel there is no curriculum la pa Mama, and I think they need your assistance as a department, right? And we would like to know how does one qualify to a special school or a school of specialization? Because we would like some of those to be available in our neighborhoods as well. And we would also like to know, how does the department consult with the community, especially with our classroom developments? But I'm glad that Ubabo HOD Ushilo is a self-built program. But the only problem that we face, Mama, is that when we go to these schools, the principal and your basically SGPs, they tell us ukuthi le program yaka department. Mele siye ku department, isifunane ne department le eJoburg where we are showing namhlanje ukuthi these are self-built schools. So I think you should work on maybe a better way ukuthi you consult kanjani with the local communities, especially the youth and the business communities, right? Ubaba uthi mama in terms of your financial audit, you had a clean audit. So I would like to know in terms of, because you are a Gauteng department, and I guess we nabo mele bahambelane in the Township Economic Development Act. So I would like to know, how does this department ensure compliance across the schools? Because that's what becomes an issue when it comes to classroom development. How do they accommodate people or local businesses in terms of these developments in Ekurhuleni? Right. And I would like to know, Mama, how does your department monitor compliance Ekurhuleni? And one pending issue has been the fact that in the Colonials Fund, I would like to know, Mama, if it's possible, how much does the department allocate to schools for especially maintenance issues annually? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Panel, my name is Ayanda. I'm from City of Johannesburg, under Region G, Porky, Ward 5. I'm going to ask only simple question, the rest have been covered. Chairperson, my first question is that what I didn't get any report from the HOD about assistant teachers at schools. There was no any report with there's a progress or no progress, and what's happening there. So we've got assistant teachers, but we don't know what's happening with them. Secondly, the food poison issue has been said, and the last, and the last chairperson I want to ask is that when the HOD gave us the stats about the number of kids in Gauteng, do you also involve kids from our African brothers, from the foreigners? Are those foreigners' kids also involved in our stats who are not documented? Are they involved there? If they're involved, how do you get budget for them? Do you have budget or not? Thank you.
Dumelang. Lebitso la ka ke Nomsamhlala from Region G, Ward 5. Ke na le potso mo. Sekolong o fihla di smart board, di laptop mara di sebetse. At the end of the day bana ba shebela di movie ka laptop tseo mara ba re di a ba thusa. And hape mo ke dulang teng di primary di 3 and high school E1. So and di class di a shorta bana ba bangata, and the most ya bana ba kena mo ke di foreigner. Ba rona bana ha ba kene dikolo. So as tjhelete o khotho e teng yona e etsang na. Thanks.
What is the name of the school?
Thusa Setjhaba Secondary School.
Junior?
Thusa Setjhaba.
Thusa Setjhaba.
Yeah, Ward 5 Burki.
Thank you.
Greetings everyone. My name is Good Guy Mahlangu, the Zonal Chair of COSAS in Hammanskraal, the Greater Tshwane region. Firstly, I would like to congratulate the Department of Education in Gauteng for receiving a clean audit. My first question is that to you, actually, MEC, is that are you aware of the issue of transportation? Because in Hammanskraal, we are now facing the issue of ngwana utimetse, ngwana utlhokofetse. So if you guys are aware of it, can you please make this issue so urgent and so important to you guys? Because it can't be some things at daily basis. Today, ngwana utimetse, kaosane we are facing the issue of ngwana utlhokofetse. And then tomorrow, the following day. So to the Department of Education, please take this issue so seriously. And also in the matter we are actually not happy the way the quality receiving. Can you please try to put your hand tata moyo na hapape? Thank you.
Greetings to the people at large. My name is Sabat. I'm also from Porky, Region G, Ward 5. My question is based on infrastructure. Like the department, I feel like it's so fixated on building schools only. But the furniture like the chairs and tables at schools, that issue is not being addressed. You see, you may go to the class and find two children sharing a chair. So, and the other one, and that also leads to children fighting for furniture and all that stuff. And then it makes it a problem for the community police forum. And the other question is the bursaries, issue of bursaries. Issue of bursaries again also, the department is more focused on academic excellence. There are kids who are not able to meet the requirements of getting a bursary based on academic excellence. There are kids, those who are good at extramural activities. So I was urging you guys to focus more on making a bursary for kids that are good at extramural activities such as soccer, athletics, and all that stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sanibonani ekhaya. Sanibonani baka Department of Education. Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthola lethuba namhlanje. Mina ngu-Itumeleng wakadladla ovela Ward 96 eMayfield. Mina angizange ukuzobuza abantu abadala, mina ngizonixoxela isitori seMayfield. Sinabantwana abahlala eMayfield abafunda eChief abahamba ngenyawo. Sinabantwana abahlala eMayfield abaye Davidton ngenyawo. Asinasikolo, isikole esinaso si1. Kunalendlela le ehlukanisa iMayfield Square neMayfield as a whole. It's Luthuli Road, if I'm not mistaken. Abantwana bayachayiswa lapho day by day ngoba asinayo imali yokubhadala transport, asiphumi emakhaya nalinganayo. Size sasukuma singabazali. Siqale iprogram C12. Sa end up C5 ngenxa yokuthi azange sathola iassistance. Sijampa abantwana from mabaye esikolweni and noma bebabuyela ngenxa ye transport. Sayenza i-petition, I think it was last year, mistaken, but azange sayithola i-respond. Sine primary one, it's Mayfield Primary. Abantwana bethu basuka from Mayfield baye eDavidton. Giyana, glashisa, whatever i-weather injani, abantwana bethu baye esikolweni because bayidinga education. Please isicela nisilungisele lapho siyacela kakhulu. Abantwana bethu bayaphela estradini.
Mama, ngicela ungishare ama details wakho nobhuti so that sizo follow up kwi petition yakho ukuthi kwenzakaleni ngayo. Okay, siyabonga kakhulu. Thank you very much for those questions mphakathi wethu. We are now going to hand over to the Department of Education ukuthi baze basinikeze impendulo kulama questions enwabuzile. Ezinye bekuwa ama comment bekungasi ama question mhlambe bekuwa ama comments enu ngendlela izinto ezenzeka ngayo. So ita vumela shirosha committee ya Vulawuri tatana kopano matume chilwane swaku aima imlenge amnika ti answer tangwini. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. You speak very well, Tsonga. I didn't know. Numpisa mnati tatan. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let me first amohele di comment li potso tsa lona. They are well received. Ntwe botlhokwa ke gore mongwe re tlo no tšea advice mongwe re tla kgona le araba. As I boletse gore their comments and also their questions. Self-build, it's a very important program to the department. It is a program that we use to increase classroom space. Meanwhile, we are dealing with building of new schools. Furthermore, in a component LED. LED is local economic development, meaning the community. The reason we give the colo chelete of builder these particular schools is that the community needs to benefit from that particular opportunity. Key intention self-build. If we give the school money, we are expecting it to hire a local contractor with capacity. Not our friends, not our family, not somebody who to reshevelang ko morao, but a person who fitla a classroom a tsamaya. And the amount of money that we are paying for this classroom, e ngata bagaetsho. We are giving a school 500,000, 500,000 to build a classroom. The cost of building an RDP is 350,000. Ntlo, if it's. And we are giving these schools this money, 500,000 to build this classroom. And one need, there are schools that have performed by island classrooms. There are schools that are performing, but they have job by Jafat. And the reason is hangata, and I'll put it very firm. Hunale into an unholy alliance between the principal, the chairperson of the SGB, and the treasurer. Angere cheleta ke na go skolo illa go phone ya treasurer, illa go phone ya principal, illa go phone ya chairperson. Ba phonelana ikene. Matata tomamu. And then that's why we have problems. Mara, I want to appreciate those schools that have gone and used this money effectively. These schools, in fact, the number of classrooms that we have built, equated to 40 schools. I counted the number of classrooms that we have built, self-built. There are more than 1,600 classes that has been built to increase the capacity of schools. So that is the success of it. Mara, there are also challenges that are there, and we know about it. Is that everyone, where the people have started to build, they are going to be held accountable. Government if the money has been spent and not used correctly, what you can do as parents and community members, SGB stakeholders, is that there will be consequences for those people. Because this was money designed to make sure and if people have not utilized it, we are on them. We'll find them and we'll deal with them so that this program can continue. Mara, we are not going to give up because of them. We are going to continue with this self-build program. In fact, even this year, we've done additional allocation to opportunity of builder this particular classroom. So, those schools that were not part since the beginning were still adding. They've built, we've added more so that we're able to increase the space for our children. So it's a very important program. We've had 15 speakers, so I'll answer 15 times. But some of the questions, I will cluster them. We have a program, Bariki Multi-Certification. And this skills program, its intention and objective is to give our children additional skills over and above the skills, over and above the curriculum offering. Meaning, refabana additional skills who fitisa serba tutututangwana ko skolong. And every time refabana about these skills, rebafa the certificate. Meaning one half it's a grade 12. High mele certificate ko grade 12. Usi kumana 12. Then kumana all this time throughout the years aluko skolu. That's what we're doing. So now this program is got various skills offering, from plumbing, motor mechanics, I don't know what they call it now, power systems, which is electrical, swimming, drone pilots, drone technology, Parking, E.G. Yeah, CAD. Yes. So it's broad. It's got 16 skills of set that we're offering into our schools. So far, we've got 250,000 plus children who have benefited from this multi-certification. So this program means that we prepare abana barona to compete after school. They are able to take these skills, and already banaba with these skills, they are able to, those who are able to fix electricity at base level. Currently, in their township, Kokasi, they are able to work, fix electricity challenges for neighbors, and get paid. Those that have been taught plumbing, they are able to do that work already while they are still in school and make money. And also in that process, we are also teaching them the skills of building businesses and running businesses. Because South Africa does not need job seekers anymore. We need job creators. And for that to happen, we need to give our children that set of skills. And we are offering them through this multi-certification program. It's a game changer. Gauteng is the only province that is doing that, because we understand the economic objectives that we want to achieve as Gauteng government, informed by our skills master plan as a Gauteng province. So that is the program that we are using. And that program will prepare our kids to compete with China, because they are no longer going to compete amongst themselves. The world is being globalized, it's becoming smaller. And as a child, as a person, you are no longer competing with your peers, co-township, or in your province. You are competing with the world for opportunities. So we have to prepare our children in that respect. So that program is happening in Gauteng, this multi-certification skills program, where our children will have these 12 certificates when they finish school. Social workers, I agree with you. Kedumela, siyawadinga ama-social worker ekolweni. Ukuya ngami, every school mebele ibe ne-social worker, ukuya ngami. Ngiyafisa logo, I don't want to sound as if I'm defeated. I'm not defeated, but obviously for budget purposes, the only thing is a MOU, social development, which barefile 120 social workers for starters, so that they can help us. But we need social workers in schools. They are very, very important, because our kids and educators are going through a lot. Mental health is a big issue. Social workers to deal with challenges. And also, because when we have a social worker will interact with ngwana once a term at a minimum. And I interact with ngwana, ukona pick up or no, ngwana unal matata go high. And if ngwana unal matata go high, we are then able to intervene. Or maybe is the child being abused, or is the child-headed family, or there are challenges of poverty at home. What do we do? But because our number the social workers, or at least enough, it's very difficult to know the state of children. And they come to school, disgruntled, perform ko skolong, bana ba robala ko skolong, we don't understand or can't wait bana. Children are having challenges at home. So we do need social workers. So we are coming up with a plan as a province to at least upskill some of our teachers at school, to give them the basic level assessment of kids, so that they are able to work with these children, identify them. As soon as they identify the problem in the child, then we proceed. If we need Department of Health, we proceed. If we need a Department of Social Development, we proceed. If we need community safety or police, we proceed. So that's what we are doing in the interim to resolve this matter up until we get an opportunity and the finances are right. The issue of discipline, and I'll be very frank, Lolona. Discipline is not taught at school. Ha ngwana a tswa ha ya tella, o tlo tella ko sekolo. Ha ona ntho le tla mo jwetsa yona. A nke re o tella mile papai. Wena o mang? You can't blame teachers and come here and say, yeah, dikolo tse dingwe ho na le discipline, ko kasi le re tloetse control. Ruta ngwana hao molao. A tlhompe batho ba bagolo, a tlhompe their peers, then we don't have a problem. The issue of parenting and working with the school, it's a must. Schools, I know for a fact, schools every term try to interact with parents. Dikolo di a leka, di ntsha dileta, batswadi tlang. Batswadi ba bona report ya ngwana hae ka December fela. Le teng a dutse ngwana a feta a no mmotsisa o phasitse. A wa pasa. Ska wara ngwana ka tla ya next year. E fela mo. It's irresponsible parenting, this thing. A parent must take active participation in the life of young high school. Next year, we're introducing the parental program. We're bringing it back. We're bringing it back, where we're going to assist parents on how to deal with education matters. And that thing is very simple, Baswadi. Two questions, fella. Every day. How was school? Every day when I go school. Wa motsa ngwanaka no le bya ngo sekolo. Bekunjani esikolweni? Mntanami, une homework na? Every day. Ekugcineni umntana uzokhuluma maka nenkinga esikoleni. Uzosho uthi ma nginenkinga kaSibusiso. Lo muntu uyangihlukumeza. Uyangishaya, ungithathela isikhafuthini, ngisaba nokuya esikolweni. That's the only way. But mangambuza umntwana akasazi ukuthi ayenzeni. Ufela ngaphakathi. So it's active participation that we want from abazali. It's a must. If umntwana angafundiswa uzokutshela ukuthi hey yazi umistress wethu wegeography akasifundisi nix. Ufika lapha late ahlale akhuluma into akhuluma 10 minutes ahambe iphela lapho. Then you know as a parent ukuthi abantwana abafundiswa esikolweni. This is the thing. But if ningayenzi lokho, you will never know the development of their children. The reason why you feel good as Nikolo, it's not even necessarily quintile 4 and 5, there's better discipline. No. Even quintile 1, there are schools with that very good discipline, 2 and 3 up to 5. Because quintile, it's all about location and fee paying. That's it. That's how the system defines these quintiles, these schools. So there are schools in quintile 1 to 3 that actually are very disciplined, are the best. They're in the top 10 schools in our province. Top 10, best school. They're quintile 1. Discipline, performance of the school, commitment of the learners, commitment of the parents in the education of the children, commitment of the educators. Equal. So parents are expected, and it's my appeal every time. Bazali, we need you to help us in our schools. We can't run these schools without abazali. Isikolo angeke silunge umzali angekho. Because kwezinye indawo uwemela usikhuzele lo mntwana. Because base simsuspenda uyabuya futhi uthi no you suspended umntana am wrongly. I've heard umzali umntana angana discipline. Umntana athi ku educator ku mistress athi ngizogwaza ngomesa. Asuspend umzali athi ayikho lo mntana amazanga ayenzi. Wabuya umntana makabuya esikoleni wamgwaza umistress. So the problem is parenting, bringing discipline. So most of this challenge that we are having, Ekurhuleni, Mena, I still say, abazali need to play their role. If umzali discipline umntwana, working with the school, if umntwana sihlupha, sonke njengabazali nesikolo, sesiyazi ukuthi umntwana ethu une-problem e-substance abuse. The school and the parent working together, we can get help for the child. But if one is not there, thina e-school siyam-expela ke thina. We expel the child, umntwana uhleli ekhaya. Umzali na uxakekile nangu umntwana la, akaye esikolweni, these are the issues. So let's work together to deal with issues of learner discipline. Infrastructure, it's a problem. It's one thing as the MEC. If anything, it's infrastructure on one side of my head. And the other side is school safety. Those are the two things that are really giving me much headache in the department. We don't have enough schools. We don't have enough schools. And we've been having a challenge with building schools. We don't build schools as Department of Education. Equal, they are built by Department of Infrastructure Development, DID, also known as Public Works. They have been delaying to build our schools. Leyo qini ukuthi ikolo menbuza ukuthi why ikolo zingaakwi. But inkinga yethu uyabona injani lento le. We are the one with the problem. But ngicela uneighbor ukuthi iyo ineighbor meli akhe. Ena kana nkinga. Uyabona ingam lomnandi fresh. No problem. Mina nginenkinga, inkinga yami. That's the situation. We have the one with the problem of learners without school, Honorable Dos Santos. We are the one with the problem. DIT that is supposed to build, they don't have a problem because abamacheli yona, abazwali abathuki yena, bathuka mina, guliswa mina, yonke into akasebenzi lo MEC, akuna nix, akuna skolo, bazile labantu bazwakhe isikolo. Masithi sizile sizwakhe isikolo, sizimisele. There's a school here, Barcelona. Barcelona, we've long had a budget for that school. So people must not say we've never really budgeted for Barcelona. Dala sa budgeted Barcelona. Khona umzali wami la akhuluma ngeTsakani. Esinye isikolo lapha eTsakani bathi sizuzile. Sizuzile dala sa budgeta. MECs bafika bathi we are going to build MEC infrastructure plus esuzile bastoti ke abazali bale. Mawufika bangena nawo kahle. Mawumele uphume bavale umnyango. Bala uphume. Dala sa budget for those schools. As where they are in the infrastructure timeline, time frame to build, that's why I'm having a headache. But things have changed. Because as about good snake, said, no, let's get other people to start assisting us with building schools. Satola, DBSA, I know towards Fosloras, what is this legacy? Before Fosloras. Any? Villa Lisa. We are building 2 schools there through DBSA. We are building 2 schools in Tshwane through DBSA. So already we have started to build using other avenues except LABA. Meanwhile, LABA basase busy thina siyaqhubeka. Sinenye program ethi ye BFI, which leyo we are responsible thina as the Department of Education in Gauteng, where we are building. In that program, we are building 18 schools. Already we have started in Kempton Park. There's a number of schools in different areas to address the issue of adequate number of schools. Any interesting inkinga ukuthi people are moving. For example, abantwana bami bala baphume eKhutsong. The residents of Khutsong are moving from Khutsong to the inner center, urban centers, Johannesburg, Ekurhuleni, for economic opportunities. Abazali angisho bafuna imisebenzi. Phela abantu balandela irand. Mele uhlale wazi ukuthi umuntu ulandela imali la ikhona. So they follow the money because of the mines are closing that site. So there's no job, they can't remain there. So when they move from those areas, they get a job this side. They take abantwana babo to come and stay with them this side. What happens? You have number of schools in those areas that are low numbers. To a point where we get to a point where sesivala isikolo. As Valley Scholar, we don't need the infrastructure. Sivala isikolo because we've seen patterns over time that this school is not financially sustainable because abantwana abekho. And that is one of the biggest challenges we're having. And that problem goes to the urban centers. And that's where we're having a big challenge. So we have that situation. So if we are talking about spaces, we've got enough spaces, but where is these spaces? They are not here, where abantu bahlala khona. These spaces are outside because la abantu bahlala khona, it's either babeka umkhukhu, khona enye community la eBronkhorst Spruit. Yang mashela ngivakaselisa isikolo, bafika bamacha baningi lapha, bangibapela ama placards kuliwa. Ngababuza ngathi, where were you supposed to build a school? But yeah, but isikolo bomele usakhela ngithi kunani? Babeka imkhukhu. Ngathi mina ngasusa lemkhukhu yenu la. Ngizwakha isikolo. So into enzakalayo nala. Menibone open land, niyekela abantu babeka imkhukhu yabo lapha. Gcina sesihluleka nokufaka isikolo manje. So ufaka isikolo kanjani ngoba abantu sebazenzele kazamazama kabani. Mabangafuna ubasusi babiza lo mkhukhu wabo ngegama lekhansela or le mayor yendawo ukuthi abayeke. Siyayazi lento leyo. So, the problem is now, when land is earmarked, and it's not even that community alone, even here in the south, is it Devon Deep? Yes, also, the land. It was there, says, message to your aka, about babegim kukuyab. So, says, where do we go? Where do we find it? And then they complain about the state of the school. So those are some of the challenges that we are having. But we are building schools. I'm not bringing my excuse again. I go to that excuse. I have made a commitment. They asked me at the beginning of the term, Honorable Dos Santos, that how many schools do you want? I said, if I can get 100 in this term, they'll go a long way to leverage the pressure that we're experiencing in our schools. So that is the goal. The number of foreigners in our school, Sinzwile Bazwali, Luthuli, and I understand your concern. How right to Rahangwana Adina School Mara or Washev? One more Angra Solana Lerona, Tolamutasel foreigner Marale Munz. Die Marao. I want the way Alum Yamagating, I already. I was saying no. But I carry batting born. No, they're there. We did a count. I said to the officials, the number of foreigners that we have in our school. The number that we have, Arba counter, we've got 170,000 children who are foreigners in our school. No, but we've got 2.7 million learners. I'm not saying it's not a big number, it's a big number. It's a big number of foreigners. But you must also understand we have signed different conventions with the world, which says that a child of school-going age, which is 0 to 14, we are obligated to put that child in a school. It's a must. It's a must. However, the number that we have, 170,000, and with regard to the admission process, Babule Mobile Laga or no, the school, Slesi foreigner, those schools, Kopa Ufeba Tuba, Baba Tamayamo. But the name of those schools, so that we can check which are these schools. I'm not going to say you are right and I'm not going to say you are wrong, but I'm saying you are going to give us an opportunity to go and check these schools. Or keep in mind these schools that are not placing South African children, because you can't do that. If there's a school that does that, we have to take it to task. So we'll want those information to come forward. Scholar transport. There's a process in place. So those parents who came here with that scholar transport, we have a director here, Makubetsi there, but hey, maybe give Oyemela Makubetsi. This Ntato, Kia no Dilanga scholar transport, every one of you, who na buagata ba scholar transport yabana, lieko yena le mufe information here. Atilega yon. Just to make it simple and quick, we've got Director Mule Matonsela, Chief Director Kupoeme. Kiana is responsible for admission. If there are questions at admission, again, the push sales admission, Haritwamu, Kupalia Koyana Director Mule Matonsela, she will help you with information. Lemon again. So that we don't take time, we simplify this. And the infrastructure kana la fam makubetsi mola, makubetsi mo. Look, the issue of youth employability. You remember Nasispan? Nerubuaga yona. Nasispani was literally championed by GDE. We advertised for the solar technician program. We advertised for the building program, which we're doing with UJ. The youth. Which one am I? Oh yes, ECD. We're taking a number of ECD practitioners to train them. Amongst them in that particular program, we also had those that focus on the finance of ECD. I don't know which one am I missing. But that is what we are talking about, the youth employability. That includes also the bursaries, the bursary scheme. The bursary scheme, Yarona, is in this way. Every child, every school, no fee paying school, which is quintile 1 until quintile 3. Matriculants, the top 3 learners, Koskolonsiu, Ribafa automatic bursaries. That's what we are doing. And it's been running that program for the past number of years to fund our children. But over and above, Riabul as well, for other children who didn't perform. But I've noted your advice. We must also look at sports, extra curriculum bursaries, sports bursaries. But that one obviously comes with partnership with universities, sports confederations, to really get those kids. So, but we'll look into it. We'll look into it. So, the youth brigades, we kept them as Gauteng province. We kept them more than 7 months beyond the period that was funded by national government. Remember, national government, Nerubanka for 6 months. After 6 months, we kept them in the system. Every month, waiting for national government to give us money, waiting and waiting until we could not afford anymore. And that's when we released them. And when we released them, we informed them that this is a contract, we can't go beyond this because there is no money. But as soon as we get money, we're having discussion at national level in what we call CAM, Council of Education Ministers, around the resuscitation of this program, because these teacher assistants, they did a lot of work in our school. They really helped. And teachers, Baba Hopola, because Nabatusa to even manage classes, especially when we're dealing with overcrowded school classes. You know, one person, you can imagine, only teacher and teaching Banaba grade 2 by 80. It's a mess. It's impossible. You know, I'm giving an example. So they did a lot of work to assist us in our school. So we know that. So I'm advocating for this program to come back because I know its impact in our schools. So we're working to get back. But the solar tech program is proceeding. Last month, September, we had a graduation program of the first cohort. So it's a 3-year program. It doesn't mean bar bankiling, they're there for 3 years. It's a 3-year rolling program, meaning wakena, route trainer, you get your qualifications, you move, we bring the other batch, just like that. That program. And then also we're looking at another one, the bus. What do you call this? Assistants are not going to passing in their scholar transport. We're looking to take them. We're going to continue another program to assist us go to passing, because these kids, they bully each other in buses as well. So we need adults there so that they can be able to contain the situation. So around scholar transport, I've covered you, including yourself, COSAS, you are covered. My children came here, they spoke about infrastructure and resources. You know, what is their right? They have a right to have a good school, well-maintained school. It's their right. It's their right to be taught and have adequate resources. You know, they've said nothing. They just said to me and the department here, just protect our rights by delivering proper infrastructure, dealing with giving us adequate resources to perform, which is true. When children go to school, they go for 3 things, 3 experiences. The first one, never yelan school bana, go tlhakana le chomi tsa bona. The first thing I feel school bana ka chomi tsa bona ke la tsebo. Labi 2, go ithuta, to learn. The third one is the extracurricular activity, go bapala, sports, drama, singing. That's why bana ba ya sekolong. Those 3 things. And these children of mine spoke to those 3 things. That when, just remember us, we want you to get these 3 things. So, Manabaga, I've heard you very well, and I know that we've heard you very well as a department. With regard to food poisoning, HOD was signing here. We food workshops. I want to tell until next year, because this issue of Banaba Chokofala having this, it's a big issue, it's a problem to us. Which will be chaired by the MEC Ya Health. In that, I deposited, or why don't you require any sponsorship? Everyone at home apply, and then the requirements based on the advice that we received and from the portfolio committee that we must close tax shops. Honorable Chair, that's what we're going to do. We're going to close tax shops and we're going to ban vendors that are outside. Actually, the biggest problem is Bana mo Tembisa, babula ke mala last week ka acha, ya motho a swametseng ka fence. a re tsa mo e rekisa a e lokile ka fence a o rekisa bana ba rena ba bolaya ke mala. In Bronkhorst, the same story. Where a child was selling chocolate, I'm not sure if it's that side, Gauteng North, where a child just came, and schools have a responsibility to stop that. So the majority of all registered schooling must stop. You know, it's unfortunate or it will affect who are actually honest, who actually sell without this money. They're going to struggle to feed their families. But more linting, banabashwa. So, Swansea resident to extreme to make sure banabara naba pila. So this is extreme measure that we are taking up until we are able to secure and river certain kabatuba. So food poisoning, we are aware. So Rena in the department was stopping, and obviously trainer Banabarona in terms of what they must do. So I think I've covered majority, including the kids use these tablets to watch movies, and they are not supposed to do that. I don't think whenever they're using these tablets to watch movies, maybe they are watching at home. Angry gadget, of course, kids, and that's what we want. We want them to learn other extra things using this particular technology, tablets beyond the contemporary locally more for school. We want them to explore, to understand technology, how to use it, and for us, that makes us very happy. So for me, it makes me very happy. So grade R, it's grade R payments. They will answer you. I don't know about stipend because once we employ you, you are employed. You might not earn. In fact, let me just give it to the HOD this one. Sorry, before ki araba wrong. Because I think you came here, most probably unali be in foundation phase, and you want to understand why you're getting a stipend. But what I can tell you, grade R has just been passed officially. Now the Bella Bill. All along, we were moving ahead as a province, preparing ourselves for grade R. We started building these secluded areas for grade R infrastructure so that we knew that the Bella Bill will pass. And the president signed it off recently. Now the proper implementation that is funded will begin now. It's going to be a very expensive exercise, but that's what we're doing. So it will also address those concerns. But it does not mean the ECD, they're private, they are no longer going to be recognized. We still recognize them. We still support them. We're still going to do our work with them because they do have a lot of work to do and we do need them. Because of the transitioning, it's going to take time. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a long time to really get all our schools ready so that we can take all our great R's. HOD, you can conclude what I might have missed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, MEC, and thanks, Chairperson, for the opportunity. On the grade R1, I must confirm that there are two categories of grade R practitioners. There are those who are employed by us in our schools and those who are employed by the private ECD centers. The ones who are employed by us, over the last 5 years or more, we've been giving them bursaries to go and study because most of them, we employ them with grade 12 or matric or NQF level 5, whatever. We give them bursaries to go and study. Immediately when they complete MEC, those ones who are in our public schooling sites, we translate them to get full salaries, no more stipends. They get stipends when they're underqualified. Immediately when they get qualified, they get full salary if they've got a B.Ed or NQF level 7 or level 6 in terms of what is allocated. The challenge are those who are employed by private sites. We cannot translate them, and therefore in those private sites, they are probably continue to get stipends. But the ones in public sector or public schools, they do get full salary once they get fully qualified. And as you might have seen in my presentation, we have already translated 4,500 of them to full educator packages in public schooling. And then the last part, MEC, there was also a question about maintenance subsidies to schools or public schools. Indeed, all schools get maintenance subsidies. Maintenance subsidies are not the same in all schools. They are allocated per capita, and adequacy amounts are also decided by the national department. So it differs from school to school, depending on the size and shape and number of learners in that particular school. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MEC and the HOD. Leo bazali bami, it brings us to the conclusion of our meeting. We firstly want to thank the MEC as well as the department for availing themselves to come and speak to you. We want to thank our staff that has been able to organize this for us. I know that at some point it was stressful. The people from the office would know. And we want to also appreciate our translators at the back for the work that they have done. I know that some of you, those who have arrived late, may have not yet gotten your food. They will direct you, Manpuma, to fetch your food packs so that at least there's something in the stomach as you get home. We want to thank the members of the portfolio committee who have been here. We've been here since 9 o'clock in the morning. We started with our own committee work, but we want to appreciate the efforts that you have put and you continue to put in education in our country. And we also want to appreciate you as the stakeholders in education for continuously holding us accountable for the work that we are doing in our communities. Ours is to ensure that the education in our province is not disturbed. Ours is to ensure that the learners in our schools actually get the best of the education. And we want to appreciate everyone. Ngiyacela ama-earphones singahambi nawo. They are busy collecting them now so that sizokhona ukuwasebenzisa nangelinye ilanga. Thank you very much, Bantabadala. We appreciate the school for also allowing us to use their premises. I know the principal has been with us since morning. Thank you very much, Nihambeni kahle, and enjoy the rest of your evening.